Hi, everybody. So we can also find standard deviation and variance in Excel. So I'll show you a couple ways that you can do that. So I just have an older data set in here, one from another section ago we were talking about students in the class, their ages. So I just left it in here just to show you how to do it. So let's say you want to find the standard deviation. You can do a couple ways, but one way is to hit the equal sign first, and then just start typing in standard deviation. I'm going to have you stop here, and you're going to notice two formulas. And these are the two we're looking at. STDEV, that stands for standard deviation. And notice how one has a P next to it and one has an S next to it. So you need to decide if you have population data or if you have sample data. Because remember, they're different formulas. Population data divides it by N. Sample data divides it by N minus 1. So you get different answers. So let's assume that the ages from the class are every single age. So I have population data. So if I have population data, I'm just going to hit the one with the P, and then I can select my data set and hit enter, and it will show me my standard deviation here. So again, just be careful which one you click. You have to distinguish between, do you have population data or sample data? Now, for your variance, you can do the same thing. So you can kind of start typing in variance and you'll see different formulas pop up. So you have variance for the population or variance for the sample. So just make sure you click the right one. If we're assuming this is population data, I'm going to click the one with the P. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and hit enter. And that will give me my variance. Now you can also find the variance just by squaring your standard deviation. So you may have slight rounding error here, but you can do that. And you can go ahead and either just type the number in, or what you can do is hit the equal sign first, click your cell, and then you can use the up arrow and square it. So it looks a little funny if you're not used to Excel, but you can actually just click a cell, and that stands for C3, meaning this is the data that is in column C, row 3. And you can really make your own formulas that way too, and you can see we get the same answer. So I use as many decimal places as I could here. So if you click your cell, you'll notice up top here, it tells you what formula you use. So if you forget, you can click that cell and see, oh, I use standard deviation for the population. Here I use the variance for the population. And then in this case, if you made your own formula, you just took your standard deviation and squared it. So you can do that too. So different ways to calculate that. Now, another way you can do standard deviation is if you have that data analysis tool pack already installed, you can click the data analysis on the right. So hit data and then data analysis. And again, you want to hit descriptive stats. Let's see, I have the same data already selected. So it says input range here, and my data was already selected. So I have that there. And remember, just like before, you just want to make sure you click off summary statistics, and you're going to hit OK. All right, now this gives you the mean, the median, the mode. Okay, and you want to be a little careful here. So look at our original answers. So our original standard deviation was 9.55 and the variance was 91.38. Here I'm getting different values, and that's because when you use the descriptive stats, you are getting the sample standard deviation and the sample variance. So I want you to be careful. The descriptive stats button is extremely nice because it does a whole bunch for you in one shot. It gives you your mean, your median, your mode, your variance, or sorry, your standard deviation and your variance all at once. It even gives you your range, your min and max, so it does a whole bunch of things for you. But when you use the data analysis button, this is automatically for sample data. It doesn't let you choose sample or population. Now, 9 times out of 10 in the real world, again, I'm just guessing, but rough estimate, right? We typically use sample data. It's rare that we have population data. So the majority of the time, this is totally fine because it's going to calculate it for you. But if you have population data, then you have to do the way that I taught you over here. Way back here, and do it manually because that data analysis button assumes you have sample data. So just be careful in Excel and on your calculator too. Make sure you know what kind of data you have so that you're choosing the right formula for your solution.